What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Football Manager series. This is episode number 42. And today we've got the final of the Europa Conference League as they take on Borussia Dortmund in the season finale. So, yeah, let's just get straight to it. It's a bloody final, for goodness sake. Get pumped. And off camera, I played the final two Premier League games of the season as well, where as you can see, we continued our tank towards the end of the campaign. Just like last season, where we totally fucked it up towards the end of the season. We done the same thing again this season. I can't believe it. What is it about this Norwich team and ending seasons? After our draw against Atalanta in the second leg of the semi-final, we lost 6-0 away at Old Trafford against Manchester United. Although to be fair, I did field a totally weakened side for the game, as it came just 3 days after our draw in Italy. Got battered by 6-0 though, and really 6-0 flattered us. We should have lost by like 9, 10, 11 nils. Absolutely embarrassing. Manchester United scored their first 3 goals in the first half. Rashford with one from the spot and 2 for Martial, and in the second half he got his hat-trick, and Correa and Pellegrini got goals number 5 and 6 in an absolute rout for the Red Devils. And following that, a defeat on the final day at home to rock bottom Watford, who had already been relegated by 2-1. And I didn't feel the weakened side. I picked a very strong lineup for it, and yet we couldn't even beat already relegated, propping up the table Watford. Embarrassing. Buendia scored the first goal in 3 minutes, and then 16 minutes later Sarr made it 1-1, and then a clanger from Farines allowed João Pedro to give the Hornets something to celebrate in their relegation season as they won at Carrow Road on the final day. And this is the game where I was thinking to myself, it's a good way to sort of say thanks to the fans for their appreciation this season, and hopefully get the support of the supporters heading into the final. And we lost 2-1 at home to bloody Watford. Honestly, I don't understand how we've been so bad towards the end of the season. One win in the Premier League since the 7th of April. Just embarrassing. So for those wondering who won the Premier League, as you can see, it was the Gunners. They became the first team in this series to win the title at more than one time. As you can see, Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester United have got 1 each, and Arsenal have now got 2. Haaland, by the way, did win the Golden Boot with 30 goals this season in 34 games. Brewster, very close behind him with 28 in 37, but Haaland does take the Golden Boot for a second straight year. And again, a brief look at the table here, where I can't get over this. I really can't. Why are we so bad at ending seasons? I really don't believe it. And again, this season defensively, we did pretty well. Fifth best defensive record in the division, but scoring goals, that was a big concern for the season. We had less goals scored this season, or the same goals scored this season, as a team that got relegated in Wolverhampton Wanderers. That's damning. There's just a couple more things to show you off camera before the first and only game of the season finale today. First and foremost, I did play a friendly 6 nights ago against League One Crawley Town just to get the testosterone flowing, as we beat them by 3-0. And just to get the morale up as well, really, because we've seen the players' morale has been absolutely shot to pieces in our run towards the end of the season. That's not a real surprise based on this form. And the one other thing to report is the FA Cup this season was won by Liverpool, who of course knocked us out in the semi-finals. They beat Watford, who beat us on the final day at Wembley, which means I believe that 7th will be good enough for the Europa Conference League if we don't win tonight against Borussia Dortmund. So Spurs' hopes of qualifying for Europe depend on how we get on tonight. So first and only game today, it is indeed the season finale as we take on Borussia Dortmund in Serbia for our first ever final in the Europa Conference League. It's been a fantastic debut year in this competition. We've got the top scorer in Adam Ida, but after an absolutely atrocious run towards the end of the season, I would say we've got about a 10, maybe 15% chance of winning this competition at best. Borussia Dortmund, firm favourites for the game, absolutely no doubt about that. And as you can see, 4th in the Bundesliga this season under Allegri, but still a very, very good side, albeit a very youthful one, to say the least. So, let's see how we get on then. It's our first ever final, but again, I say we've got about a 10% chance of winning it here, especially with us out of form right now. Now, on the injury report, as you can see, only one player is down, but it's a really sad injury. Thomas Borussia got a twisted ankle in training. He's been ever present in our games in Europe this season. Started 8 of them, scoring 1 time as well. I've really liked Borussia in his debut year for us this season. He was going to start as well alongside Ben Godfrey. Sadly, though, he's injured and will miss out of the game. Everyone else, though, is fit. And this will be our team. 4-1-2-3 Gegenpress. This is our tactical system, and this will be our lineup. Dean in goal, and a back four of Lewis, Benkovic, Godfrey and Aaron's, with Sander, Longstaff and James through the middle. Buendia on the left, Dembele on the right, and the golden boot, surely winner, Adam Ida up top. And on the bench, Frines, Akawa, Jones, Sanabria and Madu, Fernandes, Thompson, Rose, Ize, Jokic, Brewster and Vasilic. Just poor old Luvic Ajorque is the one absentee from our bench tonight. So first and only game, it's the season finale, our first ever final. Come on Norwich, let's pull off the heroics and win the trophy. Borussia Dortmund line up in a 4-1-4-1. You'll see two new gen / regen players here. One is a centre back, and they're playing him right back tonight. This is someone I've been scouting. He's absolutely fantastic. But if we're going to get him, we'll have to pay the release clause of £90 million. Fantastic young player though. And also Carpentier up top as well. Another player who I've been scouting. Young French lad, looks very dangerous indeed. 5-11 in the Bundesliga for them. But I'm noticing. Now that's very interesting. Ah, that's why he's not playing. Karim Adeyemi, you might have noticed, is the second highest scorer in the Europa Conference League, second to only Adam Ida. And he's out, he's injured for the game, so that's a huge boost to our chances of getting the trophy. Do you know what, let me bump our odds up from 15% to 20% with that piece of information there. So I'm going to say to the boys here, passionately in the dressing room for our first ever final. I don't really like any of those options there. I know how hard you're all working to end this poor run of form. Today's the day and tonight is the night. Come on Norwich City. I know we're massive underdogs for it, but our chance of getting to Europe depends on what happens tonight. If we lose, that's it. There's no European football next season. 12 minutes in, still tied at 0-0. No one's taken a shot in the game. Well, we've had our first one now, as we're still deadlocked. I can definitely see this game being a very uneventful one, and perhaps just one goal separating the sides. Oh, and Henderson just about keeps Carpentier's effort from the corner off the line and over it. Thought that had gone in there. I thought it had crossed it, but instead Dean keeps it out. But here come Borussia Dortmund once again as they look for the opener. Brekalo sent down the left-hand side, and as he steps in the field past Max Aarons, to play it back to Julian Brandt, who hits it first time out wide towards Williams, and Brandon can cross, but he'll find Brekalo instead. And Henderson with another fine save, second time in the game. Dean pulls off the heroic, still 0-0. Oh, Dean Henderson keeping us level. I say to the boys calmly in the dressing room here, unlucky, things just haven't gone right for us so far, although I will individually criticise Adam and the midfield as well. And I'll say to the boys, there's more to come from you, and I believe you've got what it takes. 45 minutes to go, no change to our tactics, though we might need to make an alteration at some point, because at the moment, Borussia Dortmund looking the better team in a very, very cagey final. This is the sort of game where, like, one lucky deflection, one lucky bounce might end up separating the teams and winning the trophy for either team. We've only had one shot in the game, none on target. This is destined for penalties here. Right, I'm bringing off Dembele. He's not played especially well on 6.4, and he's our most tired player out there. What I'm going to do is bring on Ize, and I put Buendia on the right-hand side, because he prefers operating on the right, and have Ize cutting into shoot on his right foot as well. 12 minutes to go. This has been a shocking final. Benkovic to Ize. Down the left, can we get our first highlight in stoppage time? Abrechi cuts inside, crosses, Ida, back to Lewis, we spaced across if he wants it, Jamal, oh, it's missed everyone, but it'll go straight to Max Aarons, and he himself has got a lot of space to cross, and again it goes over the head of everyone, and is cleared away. Both fullbacks having space and time to deliver, but overhit both crosses as Dortmund come on the break. Carpentier down the right to Fien with Longstaff to beat, and now Chan sends it long himself. Oh, I don't believe it. And Dortmund have won it right at the death. Such an uneventful game, but Omre Chan with a brilliant ball and a clinical finish at the back stick by that new gen. There's not enough time. There's not enough time now. There's absolutely no way we're going to be able to get ourselves a chance late on to rescue extra time. That's going to do it. That is going to do it. It's going to do it. That is going to do it. And there it is. It's all over. A shocking final. And Borussia Dortmund have won it. 1-0. Scoring late on in stoppage time. And that's it. That's it. Our first final, and it ends in tears. Just didn't turn up out there. I'm not one bit surprised though. I mean, our end to the season have been absolutely atrocious. And I won't go harsh on the boys in the dressing room, because their morale is already terrible. I don't want to take away any shred of dignity they've got left. But we just did not turn up out there. We got dominated in possession. Did we even register a shot on target in the entire game? Ida, who will win the Golden Boot, had a really poor final. Creativity was lacking as well. And unfortunately, because of that, there will be no European football at Carrow Road whatsoever next season. And you know, last season I talked about it. Was it time to blow it up in the summer and change this team? I opted against that. I opted to keep this team together and just make one big signing in James Maddison. But I'll tell you this, in this summer window, there's going to be a big change of some sort. I don't know what one of our players is going to leave. Vasilic, Brewster, Buendia, Eze, Berger, Godfrey, Aarons, Benkovic. I don't know who's going to leave, but someone's going to leave. We need to change the team. And I'm starting to think as well, have we taken this team as far as we can go? It's so hard to break up the big boys in the Premier League in Football Manager. And after 5 seasons, we just can't do it. I think it might be time to leave. I know we're all disappointed that we weren't able to qualify for the Europa Conference League this season, but I have faith that everyone in this room can build on this experience. Come next year, we'll be looking to qualify for the competition again, and I hope to see it happen. Oh wow, Berger says, I don't think I've got any other option but to ask for a move due to our failure to qualify for continental football. Benkovic says the same. It's time to go. I think those are the two that are going. No one else is agreeing with them. Sander and Philippe, I think they're gone. I love Berger, I really do. Great all-round player, defensively and when going forward. But I think he should be playing at a higher level. And I think it's only fair we let him go as well. There is a 90 million minimum fee release clause, but I don't think that's going to get met. And I don't want to sell him to a division rival. But if Barcelona put a bid in of around 60 to 65 million... then I'll let him go. Well-class midfielder, but I think his time has come. As for Benkovic as well, solid defender. But I'll be honest here, I preferred using Borussia this season. And had Thomas been fit for the final, he would have started ahead of the Croatian. So I really like him as well. He is our best centre-back here in rating, and in terms of his attributes too. But this season, only played 2/3 of our games. And again, I did prefer the Frenchman as well. So if we get a decent bid for Benkovic, around 40 to 50 million, I'll let the Croatian go as well. I think those are the two that will be leaving. You know, I had looked at the job centre as well prior to the Europa Conference League, and there are some very interesting jobs available too. Man City sacked Tuchel, and I'll tell you this, if the cash-rich Man City want me to spend their millions, I'll take it. I'll take it and join Man City. It'll be a tough decision to leave Carrow Road, but I'd love to go there and spend all that cash. But also, further afield, Napoli are looking for a new manager. And I think that would be a very interesting team to take over there at the Stadio San Paolo. I'd love to rebuild their team in Naples. Beautiful city. And I'd love to go there. And I also see Real Sociedad need a new manager as well. I'm not wanted by any club. Oh, now I am. Interesting. Oh, no. No. Oh, no, I'm not going to declare interest in the job. I'm not going to do that. I never do that because the board don't like it if they find out about it. And I'm certainly not going to apply for it either. But if they do give me an interview, I will attend it. Oh, that is an interesting one. So for our end of season awards, fans player of the season did go to Ryan Big Game Brewster. No surprises there. The guy was an absolute monster this season and he won goal of the season too. Let's watch that together. This is the goal where he went coast to coast to win it late on for us. Absolutely brilliant agile run and a great finish as well. Look at a cool finish there by Ryan into the bottom corner against the side he came through the academy from. So yeah, Bruce this season absolutely phenomenal. And Jokic was our signing of the season this year for 2.5 mil. Really? I personally would have said either Maddison, who really picked it up for us after a poor start, or possibly Borussia. That's an interesting one, that. And Rian also won Young Player of the Season as well. As for our season review, Norwich had been expected to claim a top half finish, and they did just that. As blunt as it gets. And Norwich suffered a disappointing campaign, even though we'd expected to claim the top half. How is that disappointing if we expected that? Finishing... Well, that's not shy of their pre-season expectations. That's exactly what they asked for, thanks largely to a poor run of form around October. Well, I guess it was disappointing by our own estimations, if not the board's estimations. But our match this season was a 3-1 victory over Everton. I wouldn't have said that myself. I would have said the win over Chelsea 4-1 against them at Stamford Bridge. And our moment to forget was definitely the 6-0 loss away at Old Trafford in the penultimate game of the season. I would agree with that. Although I will notice this, our attendance has been dropping over the past 2 years. Now, 3 years ago, we sold the stadium out, but now our attendance is dropping. I'm not entirely sure why that is. That's really disappointing. disappointing. And as for the club vision and expectations meeting with the board, as you can say, they just want us to stay in the top half next season. But after that, we need to work towards qualifying for the Europa League, and in 5 years' time, qualify for it as well. So the board are giving me a lot of time with this Norwich team to turn us into a winning European side, and I appreciate that a lot, mainly because I'm just not performing very well at the moment. But as we're about to go into the end of season break then, I think that is going to do it. Jokic won Euro Cup Player of the Season. How did Ida not win it? I don't know, but I'll congratulate the Serbian regardless. But as Ida does win the Golden Boot as well in the Europa Conference League, again, I'm just starting to wonder, wow, look how many Norwich representatives we had. It was all Norwich and Borussia Dortmund in Europa Conference League team of the season. I'm just starting to wonder whether this might have been my final year at Carrow Road. Now, we've got our budgets for the new season after our facilities have been downgraded. Our youth facilities have been downgraded. Don't really care though, because they never get decent players from the youth academy anyway. And our youth category ratings also dropped as well. But as for our budget for the new season, well, the board clearly want me to stay. They're giving me time and money as well. 67.78 million for the transfer budget and 1.5 mil for the wage budget, which I believe is what we've got around now anyway. So the money to spend in the summer is a lot. The board are being patient with me. They're giving me time as well. But the question is, can I take this Norwich team further? And are we going to blow the team up in the summer regardless after failing to qualify for Europe for next season? It's still been a decent campaign. Semi-final the FA Cup, our first trip to Wembley, our first ever cup final. And 8th place is still a decent finish for this Norwich team as well. But is it good enough for me to be staying here? And as for this Norwich team as well, if we do stay here, how many of these players will be returning next season? We've got a very interesting summer regardless. Whether I stay, whether these players stay, we'll find out in the very next episode in the season opener. But that will end season 5 of the Football Manager series, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy the season finale, then please do drop a like. A big cliffhanger to end the season off. Are we leaving Norwich? Are these players leaving Norwich? Who knows? But thanks for watching regardless. Hope you've enjoyed season 5. And if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for a brand new season, season 6, on Wednesday, as we'll be playing through the pre-season tomorrow afternoon. Follow me on Twitter at @DocLanders for updates during the pre-season summer. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for a brand new season, the beginning of season 6, very soon.